Hey everybody, sorry for the sun glow in the background there. I don't know why the humidity should have anything to do with the light blaring with the sun from behind. It's a cloudy day to top it all off. So, okay, but that aside, currently it is Sunday, July 14th, and July 14th, 24. Yesterday, somebody tried the assassination on Trump, and I call staged. I'm one of the ones that just doesn't believe that somebody could be so idiotic to taking him out in such a horrible fashion. And what I mean by that is the gunman had a high-powered rifle, and Trump is a very big fat guy. So for him to just get shrapnel from a teleprompter says a lot. And then to top it all off, some guy behind him or beside him in the bleachers behind him or something like that got hit. Two people got hit. One actually died. Okay? The gunman is either the most inept assassin from 1,000 yards, or excuse me, 100 yards. It was only not even that much, just under a football field's distance away with a high-powered rifle. I mean, hell, even with a handgun. Well, not with a handgun, maybe a Beretta, but or a 1911 or something like that. Something really big with a long barrel that could shoot, and maybe with a holster. Then yeah, you could reach the guy, without too much wind interference or whatever. I forgot the politically correct term. But this guy had a rifle. It wasn't a shotgun. It wasn't a pellet gun or anything like that. Honestly, I think even with a .22 caliber rifle, you can reach somebody within 100 yards. Okay? For this gunman to shoot just outside of Trump, hitting a teleprompter, and just outside of Trump, hitting two people past him, that says a lot. That says a lot. It says that this guy had no intention of actually killing Donald Trump. So this was staged. Okay? You could see clear as day the blood nothing happened to his ear. His ear is still intact. It's not tattered. It's not cut. The blood splat, you look at the photograph, the blood splat, it just says clear as day that, this was nothing, this wasn't an actual injury. That being said, another reason why it's staged is because if y'all remember the first time somebody threatened to kill him, back when he was just a candidate, when he was first a candidate, somebody said gun, gun, and Trump darted. He ran away, leaving everybody behind, leaving everybody else with the gunmen. This time, he ducked, leaving everybody in the stands an open target. And then he gets up and is proud to be, he's like, fight, fight, and all this good stuff. Which, that coward just isn't anything to be doing that. Unless, of course, he knows he's not going to actually be killed. He's that obvious. He's just that obvious. So, yeah, what we got is just this staged crap, And I don't know if you noticed, every photo that those photographers took showed the Secret Service shielding the president, but looking to see as to whether or not they could see anything beyond the shield. Like, can you see what's going on? I think what they were doing was blocking the view for somebody to put on this fake blood on his ear, and make it seem like he got shot. Because you also take a look at the picture where they're dragging him out, where they're carrying him out, and he's trying to look all tough and everything, while the Secret Service is looking at the photographer, directly at the photographer, trying to see as to whether or not something was spotted. I mean, it's just that obvious. And speaking of Trump checked his ear, yeah, and then he dropped to the ground. But none of that was, due to a gunshot, much less shrapnel. When you're hit by something of shrapnel, the last thing you're doing is jumping down to the ground, to get makeup put onto your ear. You're just checking your ear and all this good stuff and making sure that you're okay. But for this guy to go touch his ear and then drop like he got hit by a gun, by a bullet, that also says a lot, because usually, yeah, you duck, you run, you hide. If I was there up on the podium, the one thing that I'd be doing is hiding behind the podium itself, because it wasn't just some stand with a flat surface. This was a big box, a big rectangular box going 4 feet high. And as long as you're going to be ducking, you might as well as duck behind that podium. Okay? Yeah, it's just so obvious. It's just so obvious that it was staged. He fell to the ground the way he was supposed to, the way it was probably rehearsed. All of the security men, Secret Service jumped behind him, shielding him, blocking the view of what was around him. And they were all struggling to keep him covered and all this good stuff. There was an agent with the armor and the helmet and the rifle, and he jumped on the stage right in between the Secret Service and the photographers, pointing his gun down and out instead of up, while keeping an eye on whoever could be shooting. Okay, the gunman stood and took a pose. Okay, blocking the view and took it a pose as some kind of, some kind of guardian, some kind of, military man. If anybody tries anything, they're dead or anything. They're in for trouble. They're in a world of hurts. Again, it's just so obvious that it was staged. And I honestly don't believe that the gunman tried to shoot somebody in the background. The 2 people, they got hit, 1 killed, 1 in critical condition. I think it was an accident, to be totally honest. I think he was just supposed to shoot a couple of rounds above the head, missed his shot and shot it all around him. Didn't think that he was going to kill 2 people in the process. And because he did, the Secret Service or whoever it was that was supposed to protect Trump shot him in order to silence him, in order to keep him from saying, this wasn't what I wanted to do. This wasn't what I was ordered to do. Okay? And it's quite possible that the Secret Service was not in on it, that they wouldn't do some kind of staged event and all this stuff like the, I guess, CIA or espionage or any kind of crap like that. That's a possibility, but it is, however, not probable. It is also probable that they took part in this basic form of espionage, staging this assassination attempt. And the reason why I say this is because Trump has lured all kinds of people from all kinds of professions. Holy Christian people to atheists to, even some gays and gay Republicans. Trump has manipulated people within his cabinet. Trump has preached words to where people in a crowd will go and do an insurrection. And he tries to bail himself out of it and all this good stuff. Trump will influence somebody to take a shot at him under the orders of Secret Service or under the orders of some other political power or department, some government agency. Okay? In order to keep this one person who's going to deregulate everything, as he says, who's going to make this country a Christian nation, as he says, in order to deport anybody that is considered un-American, the way he says he's gonna do. Okay? And all these followers who are willing to do anything for him to make sure that all that happens. Even stage an assassination and kill the gunman for his murder, for the murder that he did. Sorry, I got distracted by a truck there pulling up to the a delivery truck. Like, it's just so obvious. This was staged. It was a planned attempt at assassination. And one of the final rules of assassination, kill the assassin. Or one of the first rules, I think it's called. Kill the assassin and then get your followers to follow you and all this good stuff. Claim your power. But the very first rule of that assassination is to first get rid of the guy. You know, no differently than with JFK, killing him, you know, with somebody that says, no, I believe that he was, you know, he was un-American. And of course, the guy that did the assassination, you know, no, Kennedy was a communist. He was un-American. So get ready for that. Okay? Get ready for the whacked out bullshit. Excuse my language. Whacked out bullcrap reasons for this assassination. Or attempt. Assassination attempt. It's all BS. It's all to stir up a hornet's nest. And the proof is what the reporters were saying when Trump got up and put his power to the people fist in the air. When he started fisting the air and everybody got all riled up, there were some people that immediately turned to the media, the news people, and started cursing them out. You know, and don't get me wrong, there were some that were turning to the media telling them, look, our guy is stronger. You know, I get that. But what I also get, as sure as people were convinced that attacking a U.S. Capitol was the right thing to do, the best thing to do, the only thing to do, you know somebody out here is going to want to start Civil War too. And like I've always said, Civil War II is not going to happen. There's just going to be an occasional douchebag shooting up the next douchebag shooting up another elementary school or another gay nightclub. That's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. There will be no Civil War II. Civil War, any war, not just Civil War, but any war requires two armies confronting each other. These aren't armies. These are just mad, angry dipshits. Pardon my language. These are just mad, angry douchebags that doesn't have anything to do, anything better to do than to cause trouble, than to be a pain in the ass to society. That's all. There will be no Civil War. I don't care how many people get all riled up because they saw him with his little makeup. Okay, back to the makeup, back to the bleeding. Okay, blood oxidizes. Okay, it darkens as it oxidizes. All right. The blood was shiny red, and he had already been lying down for quite a while. Quite a few minutes has already passed. So when he gets up, and you're looking at all this fresh blood, and all of this drip blood, and none of it's darkened from the time that he finally gets up to the time that he walks to his truck, you know, to his convoy, so to say. the blood never changes pitch. Okay, the blood doesn't oxidize. It stays gleaming red. It stays the gleaming red the way the makeup applier put it on. Okay, it could have been nail polish. It could have been lipstick. It could have been, I'm thinking nail polish to try to get it that fresh looking of a wound. Yeah, nail polish. The problem is that nail polish takes forever to dry up, and if makeup is designed to stay that color, that shiny, it will stay that shiny. Okay, and you look at those photos, you look at the videos, you look at the photos, you can clearly see there's no change of color. Okay, the blood still looks fresh, and that's because it's fake. It's fake blood. You know. And then again, the ear was fully intact. There was no tearing, there was no cuts, there was no nothing. Okay? His ear wasn't cut up by the shrapnel the way it's supposed to be when you get hit by shrapnel. The whole thing was fake. The whole thing was staged. That's where I come up. Common sense says this. And since this is a show of common sense on common ground, you know, that's where I got to come up. I don't care what the evidence says. I don't care what the conservatives say. I don't care how much rhetoric goes into this. It's all BS, and it's all meant to make you angry, and it's all meant to make you look at him as a martyr. Again, even though technically Trump wasn't the one that actually died. Okay? Somebody in the stands did. Somebody in the stands that was shot by a gunman less than 100 yards away with a rifle and completely missed Donald Trump. The big fat guy. The big fat orange guy. The big fat Oompa Loompa. You can't mistake him for any of the other MAGA hatters. Even though he was wearing a MAGA hat. There's still only one Trump. And nobody looks like him. Especially on this day yesterday where he was shot at. Common sense says that everything about that was a lie. It was made up. It was a conjuring. Okay? It was staged. Plain and simple. For everybody out there, stay calm, stay focused. Still look out for gunmen, okay? Because that's all that's going to happen. Some dick or dickless, whatever, is going to shoot up a public place soon. All in the name of Donald Trump. Okay? All in the name of Donald Trump with the use of the anger in his heart and the hate in his heart. The anger in his mind, the hate in the heart. Somebody is going to come out and take a couple of shots in the public area. So for those of you going out, next week, it's probably going to be next week. I don't think it's going to be during the work week. It's usually a weekend thing. Okay? Unless it's a school. Tomorrow, this is Sunday, the time of this recording. Tomorrow is Monday. There's no school, but I think there's summer school. There's summer camps. Okay? Be ready. Be ready to grab your kids and dodge bullets and hide. And that's the main thing. Hide. Because as I've said before, a gunman usually doesn't shoot at what he can't see. And if all he sees is a wall and no people, well, he's not going to shoot at the wall. He's going to shoot for people, you know? So stay safe out there. Run and hide. Keep in mind of where places to duck and hide and all this good stuff. Because somebody's going to try something, and it's not going to be a civil war. It's just going to be a punk douchebag of hate. Some douchebag person of hate that's going to shoot up the next gay nightclub. You know? since school is out, he can't kill elementary school kids. So he's going to shoot some nightclub, some gay nightclub, some, tranny play, if not a church. And that's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. Maybe not the president will be targeted, but maybe another politician, kind of like Senator Griffin in Arizona, who got shot at a grocery store. Some charity fundraiser. Like the Democrats and the Republicans, they got shot at a baseball game. That was a fundraiser baseball game in New York. Okay. That's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. It's just some douche is going to try to shoot at people. And if it's not going to be a mass shooting, then it's going to be personal, like the guys that attacked a black man who was walking off his beer late at night over here in north of Dallas, and he got tied to the back of a truck and dragged to death by these people of hate. Okay, we might see a spike in hate crimes because of this. Gays, Asians, African Americans, migrants, immigrants. There's more than likely going to be some kind of cause for concern concerning them. What else? Movie theaters. If you're going to go to a movie theater, try to find the best way to duck and hide. It's a little bit difficult because movie theaters these days only have about half a foot of shoulder rest sticking up above the next layer. Okay, and that's because there's walkways now where food can be served through a wait staff and everything. So it's actually very difficult to hide behind the backrest of the row in front of you, unless you're in one of the older theaters. Okay. Remember to duck and hide and all this good stuff. And try to go opposite direction if you can of where the gunman is shooting. But yeah, just stay safe and be careful, okay? Because once Trump starts yapping his mouth again, saying, trying to address himself as a martyr, trying to address himself as a victim of suppression and victim of Antifa, victim of some kind of unconstitutional, ungodly lifestyle. Once that takes place, people are going to lash out. They're going to start acting out. And the ones that are going to get hit are the defenseless and the ones that don't see them coming. Why? Because it's not a war. It's just a douchebag being a pain in the ass to society. Plain and simple. So stay safe out there. Keep looking for ways to escape or hide whenever you're in a public place. And just be ready, okay? Just be ready to survive. If you can, be like those, like here in San Antonio, just outside of it, a gunman started shooting up a church, and he went inside to kill people, and he killed a couple of people. But one unarmed churchgoer got the opportunity to sneak up on him and punch him, which scared the gunman, and he ran out into the parking lot, where he started to get shot at by the neighbor across the street. The neighbor across the street, who was not a church member, but saw the gunman with his shotgun shooting into the church and then heading in. Well, the neighbor went into his house and grabbed his AR-15. By the time he came out, the gunman came out of the church, and that's when he started taking shots at the gunman. Now, the gunman actually got away. He got into his pickup truck and started to drive away. The guy with the AR-15 and the unarmed churchgoer jumped into the unarmed churchgoer's vehicle and gave chase. And they wound up running the gunman off the road into one of the little drainage ditches where he got stuck. And instead of getting caught or getting into a shootout, he blew his own brains away. Okay? The main thing to take out of this, is exactly what you would take out of in the movie theater. If you can slump down and hide behind those rows of seats, or in the church's case, the benches, the aisle, hide in the aisles. If you can hide in the aisles, do it. And if you got the perfect opportunity to knock that son of a bitch out, do it. Okay? You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how it goes. I used to do martial arts, and occasionally I get a couple of fellow practitioners every now and then. I come across a couple, and we go through the whole, well, what's your style? Well, my style, I like this style. I think my style is better because of this and that, and you can do this and you can perform that. Yeah. But after a while comes the sparring and the samples, like knife fighting skills. One of the things that we've come to realize, and you can actually look this up on YouTube with a show called Hard to Hurt. The 2 is a number 2. Hard to Hurt, where they actually revealed that the best way to handle a knife attacker is to knock him out. And if you can't knock him out, well, then you just, you keep punching, you kick him in the balls. You block the shot, of course. You block the stab, of course. You block the stab. You resist the swing. If it's an overswing, you resist it. You put your arm and use it as sort of like a baton between his arm and the knife to keep him from stabbing you. You might still get stabbed, but it's not going to be complete puncturing of your flesh into your body part, And the same thing goes for the lower area. If you're putting the blockage onto that, even with the guy at full swing, yeah, you might get the point of the pointy end rupturing your flesh, but it might not actually hit a vital organ, which will buy you the opportunity to punch the son of a gun, put 2 fingers in his eyes, crunch the nose, and then push down, while again keeping his swing arm away, his knife hand away. Even if you can actually grab his hand and push it away, you're going to need to do that sometime. You're going to need to do that in order to grab the eyes and push down, push his head back, and then push immediately down, so that way he's forced to arch his back, and you can actually pin him down that way, and kick him in the balls. That usually helps. And then wrestle the knife out of his hand, or kick it out of his hand, or whatever, or punch him, keep punching him in the face. Especially if you've already got him down, just keep open palm striking, to the face. It hurts like the dickens, despite the fact that when it happened to me, it was coned out. His hand was coned out. His fingertips and thumb was actually hitting the outer part, the cheekbones and the forehead, and just a little bit of the nose by the palm. Boop, boop, boop. When technically he didn't put his eyes into my face, he actually palmed my forehead and did this thing where he angled my head upward and pushed completely down, and then he started, strike, and I could feel it, strike, and a little bit hitting my nose, and that's just made me let go of the knife and do this. And then I got the chance to do it not on the guy that did it to me, but on another guy, and it worked. And I actually got it accomplished with my left. So it's very simple technique. I'm not saying that all of you should immediately do that, but I am sticking to that rule of thumb. It's best to knock that dude out. If you got the opportunity, do it. Okay. So yeah. If you just take care, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, because Trump might come out talking peace or whatever, but full well he's going to boast himself. He's going to boost his image. He's going to use it to boost his image. He's going to try to do it to declare, I'm that important to the nation. Okay? When we all know it was staged, and if there was a gunman that was actually had evidence, say he left a manifest destiny, if he left a manifesto behind, we all know what he's going to say. Trump is a douche. Trump is a douche and he shouldn't be president. He's already caused a lot of problems. He's a dick. To hell with him. It's not going to say Trump is the Antichrist. It's not going to say Trump is a manipulator. Trump is Stalin. Trump is Putin's buddy. Trump is Kim's buddy. He's in league with them. He's in league with Lucifer. No, if there's a manifesto, it's just so obvious it's because of how much of a douchebag Donald Trump actually is. So yeah, I mean, just be prepared. Be prepared for people of hate who are going to use this as an excuse to try to fuck with other people. Okay? Including yourself. A bystander that's just trying to live like the rest of us in America. We're trying to make ends meet. We're trying to put some money in the bank. We've got too much crap going on to be doing this World War II bull crap. It's just a bunch of bull crap, And I hate to say it, but it's true. We got too much stuff to worry about to be trying to go to civil war. The followers of Trump, business owners, landowners, people that will spend thousands and thousands of dollars on bullets and targets and camo gear and all this good stuff to kill a politician they don't like, because taxes went up 2 cents. It's just downright stupid. Okay? So, they all got their reasons. Oh, excuse me. Stay safe out there, okay? Just be careful. Somebody's going to lash out, but it's not going to be by way of an army. That's just too obvious. Because this entire assassination was staged. I'm done talking. I already took up, 30 plus minutes. But yeah, I'm trying to cover all the bases here, and I'm trying to keep it plain and simple. Everybody else wants to say, oh, we got some bad thing that happened. I don't want to speculate anything. Well, I do. I don't want to make any predictions or calling. Well, I am. I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell you flat out. It was staged. The gunman accidentally killed people. He was just supposed to shoot around Donald Trump. 2 people got hit. So he got killed. So the gunman got killed. Okay. Trump didn't do anything. He didn't get hit. He might have got hit by shrapnel, but all those agents that surrounded him put the makeup on to make it look like he was bleeding. Okay. to make it look like he was injured when he wasn't. The gunman, the military police or whatever militia guy, CIA, whatever that was in body armor with the rifle. This is proof that it was a show, because all he did was step up around in between the photographers and the CIA agents and did a pose, holding his gun down and away, looking around instead of out to see as to whether or not there would be a gunman, another gunman, or if the original gunman was taken care of. You know, he didn't do any of that. He looked out into the crowd of all the MAGA morons, you know, that I think they would have actually have ratted out somebody that wanted to shoot. They would have jumped in on somebody. They would have jumped the guy if there was a gunman amongst them, you know. So, you got that, and the makeup was applied while the Secret Service surrounded him, blocking the view. He got up and started acting tough when you know full well there was nothing tough about him. And all of the people just started lashing out at reporters and talking a bunch of crap that he's a strong leader and all this other crap. And, you know, I'm coming out and saying it. It was all fake. It was all staged. I don't care what anybody says. They could say this, they could say that. None of it's going to change my mind. Excuse me. So that's the long and the short of it. Y'all take care. Y'all take it easy. Stay safe out there. Okay? And we'll see you next time. This is Chris. Chris Comments signing out.